What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Road to Infinity War here at The Real Talk, where we're counting down and reviewing all the MCU films that come before Avengers Infinity War, which is just days away. At the time of this recording, when I'm going to put it out, it's just days away, and I'm just so hyped. It's like, it's there, but it's not there, you know? Like, I can't believe it's almost here. It's like almost not real, but... with that being said, today we're going to be talking all about Ant-Man, which released in 2015 and directed by Peyton Reed, starring Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, hopefully I pronounced her name right, Michael Douglas, Michael Peña, and Corey Stoll, among others. And like always, we do have a special guest, and that is Cody Curtis, which I'm so excited to have him on my channel. So, Cody, take it away, man.
First of all, before I get into this, I just want to give a big thank you to Mr. John from The Real Talk. John, thank you so much for allowing me to be on this journey to Infinity War, to talk about Ant-Man. This is one of my all-time favorite MCU movies. So what can we discuss about Ant-Man? In all honesty, let's talk about the reasons why I love this film. Of course, we know there were problems in the past with it, because originally Edgar Wright was going to direct it, but then he had creative differences with the studio, and then he left the project and went on to make Baby Driver, and then Mr. Peyton Reed came on and took over the helm, and in all honesty, he did quite a fantastic job. Ant-Man from top to bottom, it's not only a really cool origin story, it's not only a cool superhero movie, it's a pretty original one too, cause it's a heist film. Ever since the first Iron Man film, Marvel, Kevin Feige, and the whole creative team behind what they're doing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they have been inventive, they've been innovating, and that keeps on moving with Ant-Man. But let's move on to some of the performances in here. Okay, so we know we have Michael Douglas, we have Paul Rudd, we have Michael Peña, and we have Evangeline Lilly. Across the board, every one of the performances inside of Ant-Man are great. Not to mention the fact that how they developed the characters was really, really great. The relationship that Paul Rudd has with his daughter in this film is one of my favorite aspects of it. Not to mention the fact that Ant-Man is insanely funny. And a lot of that comedy comes from Michael Peña. Michael Peña, we know he's a funny guy. He's always been great in most of the films he's done, and he always has that charisma, that comedic charisma. And it's no different here. Every time that Paul Rudd and Michael Peña are on screen and they're in a scene together, I was dying laughing. And of course, considering this is a film, there is some Avengers tie-ins, and specifically some tie-ins with what was going on in S.H.I.E.L.D. back in the day. And the way they tie everything in with the MCU, with everything that we've seen in the past, it's really, really interesting and pretty cool as well. Not to mention the fact that if we look at the grand scope of everything we've seen in the MCU as far as superpowers are concerned, we get some new superpowers, a new suit, and it's pretty unique too. If we look at the suit, we see a bunch of capabilities that we have never seen in the MCU before, and that is the ability to go micro-sized, go along with insects, control those insects, and create a heist. And it's insanely entertaining across the board. Now, if I were to give any negatives toward Ant-Man, what I would say is, although it does break some ground in being like a Ocean's 11 meets MCU movie, the biggest problem I have is, besides that little aspect, and the comedy, and the fact that the character development in Ant-Man is really good, I didn't find anything in the film to be particularly special, although the film is insanely entertaining and has a really cool concept and really good elements in it. It does still feel like an MCU film. It does still feel like a Doctor Strange or an Iron Man or just another origin movie that we've seen in the MCU before. Now, I love Ant-Man. Don't get me wrong, you could probably already see this by the thoughts that I've given. Fact of the matter is, there are some elements of this I just don't find very special at all. And I think there are a few times that the pacing does wane a little bit. But overall, Ant-Man is such an enjoyable film to watch. I absolutely love this movie. It is one of my favorites because it did what Marvel does best, and that is take a risk with a character that people probably don't know that much about, and to turn a superhero film into a different kind of superhero film than we've seen before. And once again, John, I just got to give you a big thank you for letting me be a part of this. Avengers Infinity War is just around the corner. This is going to be a fantastic ride, and I just want to say thank you so much. This has been a blast, and I'll see you next time. And all of you people in the audience who may be watching this, thank you so much for showing up. Support John. He's the man. You guys all rock, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right, Cody, so thank you so much for that fantastic review of Ant-Man. And again, thank you so much for being a part of this Road to Infinity War with me and all the other YouTubers. Really means a lot. And guys, if you guys have not checked out Cody's channel, please do yourself a huge favor. He's actually also doing his own journey to Avengers Infinity War. If you guys want to hear his thoughts on all the other MCU films, you guys can go to his channel and check them out. All his links are going to be in the description down below. So Cody, again, thank you so much, man. All right, guys, so now it's time for my thoughts and review of Ant-Man. Alright, so back in 2015, we finally got the Ant-Man movie, which we were all waiting for. Like Cody said, Edgar Wright was supposed to direct this film, and I feel like Ant-Man is one of those only films that, or one of the few films that had kind of issues going on in the back. You know, like we did have stuff going on with the Incredible Hulk, and that's why Edward Norton left and stuff like that. But Ant-Man was like that one that actually had a director replace and stuff like that, I think, as far as I know. So it kind of had a lot going against it, you know. We didn't really know this character, at least the general movie-going audience didn't. And, you know, they had the director replaced with just a few months left of you know, before it released. And then we had Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is an amazing actor. I love his movies. I think he's an incredible comedic actor. But we kind of weren't used to him as being like a lead role, you know, and especially a superhero film. So we're all, like, there's all these factors going against it. So that's why when I saw it, I was overwhelmingly surprised because I really enjoyed this movie. Like I'm going to be saying a little bit earlier, I really enjoyed the fact that it was Scott Lang and his character going through, okay, you know, I'm done with robbing people and stuff like that, and I want to be there for my daughter. So I really loved that it was that story, and obviously he met Hank Pym, and, you know, he got involved with the Ant-Man. So I love that it was not only a superhero movie, but it was also a heist film as well. I really love that element. And but with all that being said, I did have a few negatives with it, so let's get to them. Alright, so my first negative is kind of like some of the characters, at least in the beginning, and I think throughout the movie as well, I feel like they're just there just to be there, to kind of say, oh, look, this is Peggy Carter, or it's Howard Stark. Like, the plot doesn't really need them to be there, you know, like they could have just been any other agents or something like that. I do understand they were kind of trying to say that Hank Pym was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. at some point and stuff like that, but I don't know, it kind of just felt forced in there. That kind of just took me out. Alright, so again, we're going to be talking about the villain. It kind of seems like a trend with these MCU movies, but I don't know, I feel like Corey Stoll, he's a great performer. I really like him as an actor, but I feel like Darren Cross, like, again, I just don't feel like they did enough with him to kind of really make him a great villain. You do understand, kind of, I guess, his motives, like, oh, you know, Howard, you didn't want to share your secrets with me, so now I had to do it on my own, like, I don't know, it's kind of, they should have done a little bit more. Corey does a great job in doing that kind of performance of like, could I trust this guy? Could I not trust this guy? But obviously in the trailers and stuff like that, you do understand that he turns into Yellow Jacket. And that's kind of another gripe that I have. It's kind of cool in a way, I guess, but it's kind of like Iron Man. He faced Ironmonger, and also now Black Panther, he faced Killmonger, kind of the same skill sets. Hulk, he fought Abomination, same kind of size and strength and everything like that. And now Ant-Man, he's doing the same thing. So it's kind of that trend of like facing a villain that has a similar powers to you, which was great for the action, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But I don't know, I feel like that trend is kind of like, okay, like we already kind of seen this coming, so let's get something new. And my last negative is gotta be kind of the tone of the movie, that I feel like it was all over the place. You know, it was kind of trying to be comedy, drama, action, and stuff like that. So in some scenes, and again, it does fall victim to the MCU effect where it has a serious moment, but then it's play off with something funny, and it doesn't really give the character a chance to kind of have their moment without a comedy moment involved, you know? Don't get me wrong, there was great comedic stuff, which I'm going to talk about later. But I feel like they should have done a better job with the tone and kind of making it more consistent throughout the film. And I feel like this is a nitpick though, because I don't know, I come to expect that from the MCU, but I had to mention that in my negatives. So with that being said, let's go to my positives. Alright, so like I said in the beginning, this movie had a lot going against it, and to be honest, I'm really happy that it turned out to be a great movie for Paul Rudd, for Peyton Reed, and for everybody involved with this, and especially Kevin Feige and stuff like that. It's not like they needed a hit, you know, like they're kind of in a bad place. But I was hoping for this movie to be great. You know, that's what I hope for all the superhero movies. So all movies in general, to be a great movie, to be fun, to make its money at the box office, and be a success. You know, so I was happy. You know, I would have loved to see what Edgar Wright would have done with a superhero film. Like, we've all seen what he did with Baby Driver, and obviously his other films like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Shaun of the Dead and all that stuff. But I felt like that would have been an even more unique, more fun-filled movie. And it seems like they still kept some things, and he's still credited as a writer, which is great. But I don't know. I just felt like a positive for this movie is that it turned out great when it had a lot of things going against it. So that had to be, I think Peyton Reed and Marvel and everybody has to be praised for that. All right, so like I was talking a little bit earlier about Corey Stoll, how he gave a great performance. I felt like all the acting in this, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, especially Paul Rudd, I feel like they did a great job in kind of portraying their characters. And especially Paul Rudd portraying like the lead, you know, he's the male lead in this film, the superhero, Ant-Man, you know. I feel like he did a great job in portraying that. You kind of saw it in his emotions and stuff like that. Like, he's trying to be there for his daughter and stuff like that. And you really could tell he's a great actor because of that. Because he does do the comedic stuff, and he's also able to do and deliver the drama and everything that goes with that. So I thought there was solid acting all around this film. So yeah. Alright, so now let's get to all the action and the visual effects. To be honest, that's what I really love about this movie, that it was unique. It was Ant-Man. He gave us, like Cody was saying earlier, they give us action that we kind of never seen before because he gets small, you know? So all the stuff that they were able to do that, all the CGI, all the effects were really well done in my opinion. And it's just a fun movie. Like, when I saw it in the theaters, when he first got small in the bathtub and stuff like that, and he goes in there and he goes to that party and he's on the DJ thing, and just everything about that scene. And obviously later on in the film when he gets small, they do a lot of creative things, and that's why I can't wait for the sequel, because I want more of that. I feel like that was great action. It was kind of suspenseful as well, like, okay, like, what can he get away with, what can he not? And I thought they just did an incredible job with all the ant stuff as well. That's really cool to see, and something, like I said, we never seen before. So that I feel like it was really great to see that they succeeded in that. So I had to talk about the action, which was phenomenal, the CGI, and all the stuff that they did with Ant-Man and his powers when he was small. Alright, so like I was saying earlier, I really like the whole father-daughter dynamic that they were able to express, and not only Hope and Hank's relationship, but also Scott and his daughter's relationship as well. And obviously that's the main one, but I really loved all the aspect of, like, Hank is trying to kind of protect her daughter, but kind of at the same time pushing her away. And she's like, Hope, she wants to be the one in the suit, but obviously Hank's like, no, you can't do this and this and that. And obviously they have that great scene, which Scott, you know, kind of interrupts, and it's a little joke and stuff like that. But I thought it was still a great scene. And also the stuff with Scott and his daughter, like, he's trying to be there for his daughter, but he can't really. It's kind of like two ends of the same spectrum, but he can't really because he's still involved in that life. He's trying to be Ant-Man. He's trying to kind of do that life for his daughter, you know. So I really like those two aspects from the film. Alright, so my last few positives is that this movie is nothing but pure fun, and it's just an entertaining movie. Like I said, I really love that this movie came out to be just fun and entertaining, especially with a character like Ant-Man. I love that they were able to make it work. And also the side characters, I really like them. Like Michael Peña's character, he's obviously like those two scenes where he's kind of, okay, my friend of a friend of a friend, like he's kind of, they use his voice with all these characters, and obviously Stan Lee with his cameo and stuff like that. And also, now I'm talking about cameo, that whole cool interaction with Falcon. When I first saw that, I was blown away. I didn't know that. I didn't see that in the trailers, and I was really happy that they were able to kind of include a cameo from an Avenger, but kind of not have the movie solely depend on that. You know what I'm saying? So overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. So let's get to my final thoughts. Alright guys, so with all those positives and negatives being said, I have to give Ant-Man a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, I really had a fun time at the theaters, and I really liked the whole father and daughter dynamic with all these characters. All the stuff they were able to do, the action with his powers and stuff like that was really creative and really great to see in theaters. But, you know, this time around, I did notice a lot of little things here and there that kind of took it down for me. But overall, I really liked the film. So let me and Cody know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about Ant-Man. And again, Cody, thank you so much for being a part of this. All his links, guys, are going to be in the description down below, so go check out his journey to Infinity War as well. And guys, the Road to Infinity War is going to be continuing with me and Ryan O'Toole reviewing Captain America Civil War, so stay tuned for that. And guys, if you guys want to follow me outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk, talk with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter. You guys can also follow me on Stardust, just at The Real Talk. Until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Later.